Hi, I'm Dr. Eric Thomas, and I love gadgets. And one of the best gadgets in our office is a laser that we use to treat psoriasis and vitiligo and eczema, actually, only for the more difficult and unfortunately smaller areas. I've had wonderful results for hands and feet and elbows. It's one of the few things that can be used for psoriasis of the scalp, although it depends somewhat on how thick hair is. So why does it work? What is it? Well, there is a certain type of light. This is, if you want to be technical, 308 nanometers, sort of in the narrow band ultraviolet range. And when used properly, it has an effect on reducing the inflammation associated with some of these conditions. Why a laser? Why not an ordinary light? Well, sometimes we have to use an ordinary light. If a person has it over their whole body, that's what we do. However, laser energy is very organized. The light waves are in sync, so it penetrates that little bit deeper, and that's really where the inflammation is. And that's actually one reason that tanning salons can be counterproductive when you use it for psoriasis, because they tan people up. And one of the things that you should know is that the inflammation in these conditions is a little bit below where tanning occurs. So if you tan up, it's like closing the shutter of a camera. But I digress a bit. Let's get back to the laser. So what we do is to deliver the energy in a very localized area. The individual areas are about so large, so we overlap them a little bit, or come quite close to one another, and it may feel warm, but it usually will break through the crusted scale of psoriasis pretty nicely. We increase it each time, and it can take anywhere from 8 to 10 treatments to see good results in psoriasis. Vitiligo, that's another condition. That's much harder to treat. I have a little talk on that separately, but vitiligo does respond fairly well to this, especially if it's on the face or central area. Vitiligo, which is the loss of color, and again I refer you to a separate talk on it, is very difficult to treat if it's on the hands or feet, though we do try it there. So in any event, the eczema laser, and I'll put a thumbnail on the front of it. We use one by Extract, but there is another company also, is very good. They're not a dime a dozen. You may have to look around a bit for it. But if you have localized areas of elbow, knee, scalp, excellent for scalp, unless the hair is extremely thick. In that case, it's just technically difficult to get the energy down to the layer of the skin where it is required, but it's the only thing that really works pretty well for scalps. And it is a way to minimize, therefore, the use of, internal biologics, which are not bad either, and we have a talk on those. But there's no doubt but that if we can treat you with a little ordinary light energy, that's certainly a bit safer. So there's a little primer on the use of energy, light energy, to calm down inflammation in the skin. And really, it's also the only thing I've found that touches hand eczema of certain sorts. Cortisone creams, they may work, but they often stop working. They're not really useful if they're cracks or fissures, but utilizing the laser for it is a great idea. If you're interested in an interesting engineering type of frame of mind, it's called an eczema laser, which means excited dimer. There's a gas that has, I believe it's chlorine and xenon or whatever, I'm not certain. I think it's a proprietary mixture. And in any event, when excited by flash lamps or whatever, actually produces this specific wavelength. So look into it. There are some things online. You can link to it. And if you have psoriasis, if you have vitiligo, if you have difficult, hard to treat eczema, especially if it's in an area like your hands where it interferes with your quality of life, and that's what we're about here, quality of life. Well, length of life within limits too, but quality is so important. If that's what we're into. So look into those things, and you may find that it's very useful. This is Dr. Eric Thomas thinking of you. Thank you.